Okay, hello everyone. So I'm gonna be teaching a foundation year 9, and I gave them a short assessment and I realized that they don't know how to add fractions. So I'm gonna be preparing a PowerPoint where the main goal is to learn how to add fractions. However, when you add fractions, you have to be very confident with equivalent fractions. Otherwise, you wouldn't understand why you have to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So, we are going to have some transition activities and then we're going to go into adding fractions again. I've done some adding fractions last lesson, but I've only taught them the method, and I don't know if that's going to stick if I don't actually explain it more in depth. Okay, here are some files that I want you to see that I usually use for starters. So I want to give them in the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes of the lesson a nice fun starter. Well, first of all, this is going to be an online lesson, and the problem with online lessons is that actually not only with online lessons but also with regular lessons is that sometimes the kids log in or they arrive in the classroom at different times. So you have to give them something to keep them busy until everyone else arrives, and you have to give them something nice and fun so you can set out the tone of the lesson and not make them feel stupid. If you give them like a really hard question, you're going to make them feel stupid and they're not going to want to do anything for the rest of the lesson. They're going to have very low self-esteem and low confidence, so that's not going to help. So a great activity is, you can see this link here. I'm going to put it in my description so you can use it as well in your lessons. This is like a really long PDF, and it has loads of word search puzzles with math with different topics. I don't know if it has like it doesn't have a content page, but even if you can't find the keywords for your lesson, you can just choose one that is the closest one possible, and then you can just take a screenshot. I'm not going to be using this lesson the word searches because I have already used it last lesson and I want to diversify. There's also, it depends on what year group you teach. So this works with all the year groups, even for primary. It's really fun. All they need to do is find the words from here. You just have to look them up on the little puzzle. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna leave this for now. I just wanted to show it to you because I've done this in the previous lessons. That's the only reason why I'm not gonna do it now. Okay, right, let's have a look at this. These ones I love. These are all different. So here it says start at the bottom left, and you have to move like that and keep adding all of those numbers until you get exactly 53. So if you want, you can change the number. They do have the answer for these questions at the end of this document. As you can see here, it's 40 pages. So it's really good. I haven't done all of them with the kids in my class, but I've done some of them and they're really fun. So you have to go around here and have to keep adding the numbers. Basically, you have to find the path to getting to 53. Okay, I'm thinking maybe I should be using this. I'll show you some more and then I'll decide on one of them. Okay, this one, I haven't done this one before. It says which number should go in the empty triangle. So you have to look at these and notice a pattern, and then you apply that pattern to the fourth one. Then if you don't know how to do it, you can always look at the answers. Here it says how many triangles can you see. So first of all, they're tempted to just look at the small ones. Then they realize there's actually 3 sizes of triangles. There's a small, a medium, and a large one. So this is the large one here. This is the small one here, and the medium ones are like this. And there's a bunch of them. So first they have to group them, then they have to count them. If you see the kids have no clue on how to start, you can always give them a hint, so you get them motivated. Okay, this is something with matches. Remove 4 matches to leave 4 equivalent triangles. They must be all the same size. Okay, this is fun as well. because it's something that takes them a long time to figure out, but it's not difficult. All they need to do is remove a match. So yeah, it's kind of fun. Maybe I'm gonna give them this one. So what I do, because I use a PowerPoint, that's what works with my software, I'm gonna be doing screenshots of this in my PowerPoint. I mean, that is an idea. Then we have the jumping frog. This is about calculating. You have time to have a look at all of this. Let's see, can you work out what number will be at the top of the pyramid? Oh, this is already done, so they just add the numbers. We have loads of questions like that. This is Fibonacci. I want to give them something they can all try, even on a piece of paper, not necessarily on the screen. Okay, this is working as well. The crooked calculator. So basically it says that Eric has gotten all the sums wrong. Each time he presses exactly one wrong key. So basically this number doesn't give you this answer, and you have to figure out what to switch here to fix it. Okay, so I'm gonna screen this one. I actually like this. This would take probably longer. And it's fun. It's not, what I like about these puzzles is that they're not for a specific level. I mean, here you can see like a square root, so I guess you can give that to higher secondary level in the UK. You can give it to a year 8, 9, or 10. Maybe the other ones don't know what a square root is. So yeah, it depends on the level. Maybe year 8 might not know it if they're foundation. And this one's the same. Okay, so, and then if you want to give them a puzzle like that, so you can choose from here. This is really good for secondary. I'm gonna leave you with the link, and I want to show you one more if you're teaching primary or year 7 at the beginning. There's something called emoji puzzle. Right, spelled it wrong. Anyway, so I think this one is called Emoji Maths. So all you need to do is just screenshot something from here, and there are different levels. Look, they have new puzzles. They always release new ones. And all you need to do is just screenshot one of these. As you can see, some of them are easier, some of them are harder here. So this one, you can give it to someone in year 7 or 8 or 9. And you can find easier ones for year 3, 4, 5. Let's see. And then you get them to think about it. You can even use this when you introduce them basic substitution, simultaneous equations, simple equations. Those are fine, but not necessarily. You can actually use it for any topic. It's just really fun to do it. And they're quite intuitive. They don't even need to be good at math to do it. See, look at this. This is really easy for year 3 and 4 and 5. And this one as well. And the ones with 3, they're better for 5, 6, 7. Yeah, and try not to use symbols that are really similar. This one is quite, I don't like it. It has too many people and they're quite similar to each other, and it's hard to count how many people are here. Those might be difficult for autistic people or people who have dyslexia, so just choose something nice and simple. Moving on to the first activity, because I haven't even planned for the first activity. Just to start, I'll show you my favorite website. It's called Corbett Maths. And I have everything I need here. I do have a load of resources. The most important thing as a teacher is not to create your own work. I mean, it's good if you do. I've even created a lot of iOS apps for my iPhone to create all my things from there, but it takes a long time to create your own resources, and you should only do that if you are positive that you can't find anything similar to that online, especially if you have to teach, like in the UK, 26, 27 lessons a week, a regular teacher, full-time teacher who doesn't have any other responsibilities would teach between 24 and 26 lessons or hours a week. Depends on the length of your lessons. Some schools have 45-minute lessons, some schools have 1-hour lessons, or I've even worked in schools that have 1 hour and 15-minute lessons, which I personally found that were a waste of time, because the teacher would just get them to pack away 15 minutes before the bell was gone. It was such a waste of time. At least the way I was taught. That was when I was doing my training. One of those schools had really long lessons, and I didn't feel like that time was used properly. Okay, so I'm gonna look for equivalent fractions. Because the thing that you're assessed on in here in the UK is keeping all the kids busy, because that's how they make progress, if they work. And if they just sit around and wait, they're not going to make any progress. And if you have a lesson observation, that's going to be a really bad, it's definitely going to be an area of improvement. Okay, so here's what we have. We have 2 questions. This is what I was looking for. So I just want to do like a quick introduction to equivalent fractions. Okay, so we have this activity. I'm just going to screen it. I'll show you where the answers are. I don't actually use the answers because these are really easy for me. I can do that in my head in a second. But and also my groups are really small. So now I'm teaching maximum 5 kids because it's an online lesson and that's how it's structured. But if I had to teach this with 30 kids in a classroom, I would not have time to look at each one of them and give them feedback. So what I would do is I would go here to the answers. You click on the answers. You have the answers here, and then you put those on the board, or you can get someone to read it. Or you can just get them to mark their own work with a different color pen, and then you also have the proof in the book that they've done the work and you have assessed it, so they know and you know what they're struggling with. So if they didn't do it right, all they need to do is do like a cross, maybe write some notes on what kind of mistakes they're making, and that's it. So that's all I needed from this this PDF. I really love these. They're really easy to save as a PDF as well. Okay, so that's what I was doing for the equivalent fractions, and then we can do the addition. So I want to find something where you have to add fractions. Fractions, and you have adding with different denominator. So when you first start teaching adding fractions, you have to show them how to add fractions with the same denominator. I've already done it last lesson. That's why I want to kind of give them a different angle now on adding fractions with different denominators. This should work. So I can give them this one and use the first one just to give them an example again, because you still have to remind them how to do it. Now, I haven't actually assessed them on how to convert improper fractions to mixed numbers. They might know how to do it or they might not, so I'm gonna give them this as an extension. Or maybe I'll just show them how to do it. I guess I could give them an activity between where they just learn how to convert improper fractions to mixed numbers to improper fractions. This is what I need. So if I do that, if I do this, they're gonna know how to do the second one. Because otherwise they're not going to know. I mean, I can explain to them quickly, but this is a foundation. They're not going to remember it. Okay, that's good. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Right, so let's get a new PowerPoint out. Any new presentations should work. Maybe this one? Let's see. I guess if you choose one, you don't have to use it throughout the whole lesson, but it's something. Okay, right. Starter. This is gonna be a starter. Okay, put it in the middle. And let's find that crooked calculator. Okay, there it is. Starter. Can change the title, put it higher up so they know this is the starter, and this line, I don't know. No, I can't remove it. Anyway, that's the starter. Maybe make it bigger. Okay, that looks fine. Right, after the starter, let's see, what is this one? Okay, equivalent fractions. Now, I want to do this activity, but before I do this one, this is going to be something they're going to be working on their own. So what I want to do before that is just give them like a little introduction and an example. So for example, I'll just do the first 3 questions. Yeah, I guess I can do that. So I'll solve this for them. And I'm gonna write a 1/5 in the middle here. And what I need to do from this point is, I'll show you, I'm actually gonna write with a pen on the board, but I wanna find some shapes just to show you what I had in mind. Okay, so these arrows are gonna help them create different equivalent fractions. So fractions equivalent to 1/5, and each one of the kids is going to give me a fraction equivalent to 1/5. Okay, I don't know how many kids I'm gonna have, but as you know, we can have an infinity of equivalent fractions, so it doesn't matter. And I can do some more arrows with my pen. Okay, and then I can give them this example using the same principle as here, and then they're gonna be doing this on their own. So after they do that activity, we're gonna go over adding fractions again. So we're gonna go over adding fractions again. I'm gonna remind them again how to do this, even though I've just done it last lesson. Okay, so after I've explained that to them, they are going to do their own activity again. And what I'm doing, actually, while they're working on this, I'm looking at each one of them and I'm giving them feedback. Let's see, this one. Nope. Actually, I'm gonna have to give them this as well, but right after I give them some practice on adding fractions. Where's the one with adding fractions? I need one for demonstration purposes. Where's my one for demonstration purposes? I don't think I have one. Right. But I'll do one just right now. That one's gonna be my example. Wow, started raining, seriously. This is England. Okay, right, here's my fractions. I'm gonna add them. Gonna get them to have a lot of space to do this activity. So they're gonna do adding fractions, then something. Okay, then they need the slide to. Okay, how about this one? A 3, a 9, and a 10. Just so they know which numbers coming from where. Okay, so that works. I'm gonna give them this one as an example before they do the main activity, and this one as well. And just maybe write the rule. So this is their activity where they work out the improper fractions, and then the next activity should be adding fractions. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do all of this, but it's good to overplan than to plan less. because what if you actually go through all of this? So yesterday I had a lesson where I was supposed to have 6 children in the lesson, and I only had 1. And the impact that had on my lesson was that we went way faster because I didn't have to wait or come up with other activities for those who didn't understand, or just move slower or try to break things down for them. So we went through the content so much faster than I would normally do. And it's good that I had a lot of things planned, because otherwise you end up having to improvise things. Okay, so that's what they're gonna be doing. And I could have some answers here for them. There. Question 3. And I can write my text here just to say these are the answers, to use them, because it's gonna take me a while to do this in my head. Okay, so that's my lesson. I could give them some problem solving questions. I think we're not gonna have time to do them, but since if we're already here, I'm just gonna have a look if there's any problems here. There you go. Okay, so I'm gonna be putting those ones right at the end as a plenary. Yeah, that's my lesson plan for today. This is a year 9 foundation, and then we're not very confident with adding fractions. But when you add fractions, you have to make sure they know how to do equivalent fractions as well, and you have to check a lot of other background knowledge. So if they do know how to add fractions, because I did teach them last lesson, at least they're going to learn something new when they get to the part where they do mixed numbers and improper fractions. So that should help. Okay. Yeah, well, that's my lesson for today, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye for now.